So Luca,
Yes.
Prima del Teatro.
Yes.
What is it? What is your role in it?
Prima del Teatro is a term invented by a very inspired man, Roberto Scarpa, 35 years ago. Roberto thought that the Italian theater needed something. And he started to try to make all the Italian schools dialogue. In fact, Prima del Teatro, starting from 35 years ago, the first 4 or 5 editions were a dialogue between Italian schools, only Italian schools. Then from 89, it has become a dialogue between European schools. Roberto left in 2009, and since then I took over, and now we are here, and it's the 35th edition, and it's almost a miracle that we are here. And Fondazione Teatro di Pisa has been the place and the mind and organization behind Prima del Teatro, which is strange in a way because Teatro di Pisa is an opera house. So the main question is, why an opera house devotes so many energies to something that is not strictly connected to its first mission? And my idea is that when Teatro di Pisa finds the answer, we will finish it.
So, along these years, different schools from Europe have been involved in this initiative of actors and playwrights and scenographers and directors training in summer in this beautiful village, San Miniato, in Pisa.
Yeah.
Which schools have been involved in it?
First of all, we must say that Prima del Teatro has been traveling, because we started in Pisa, then we went to Bagni di Lucca, then we went to Montalcino, Siena, and then here since '94. Going from west to east, we had the 2 schools one in Spain and one in Catalonia. Or 2 in Spain, whatever. For us it's Spain. And then schools from France. At the moment we have the École du Théâtre National de Strasbourg and the ENSAT Lyon. Oh, by the way, from Spain we have the Institut del Teatre de Barcelona. Then the Guildhall, the London Guildhall. Then the 2 schools from Germany, which are the Hochschule der Künste Berlin and the Hamburg Hochschule für Musik und Theater. Then the National Drama Academy in Copenhagen, the Institut National Supérieur des Arts du Spectacle de Brussels, which we are very honored to have with us. They are a wonderful presence every year. And some school in Italy. And today at 5 o'clock, I have a very important phone call with the Italian National Drama Academy, Silvio D'Amico.
They have been in Prima del Teatro.
They've been with us until, actually they were the main partner until 2013. Then, of course, it's always an economical problem.
And there are other Italian schools, I think, like Filodrammatici from
Milan,
time to time, La Cometa.
Yes, and individually, we have a very interesting, but it's very informal partnership with Paolo Grassi, because we have their students, but we don't have a formal agreement.
And you have other schools from Europe, the Danish school?
The Danske, the National Danish Academy, Then this year, thanks to the entrepreneurship in art, we made we made friends with Istituto Politecnico di Lisbona and the Lithuanian Academy, the National Lithuanian Academy from Vilnius.
So people from everywhere.
Yeah.
In a way, do you think that this experience, Prima del Teatro, has somehow contributed to building this what we called European values or European being? If you have a perception from it.
I mean, if you think that Prima del Teatro, it's not a festival. We don't have productions. We don't have visibility. Because if we had all this, I mean, it could be one reason for the schools to come would be, yes, it's a moment when our students can be seen, yes, they can show, but Prima del Teatro is before theater. So, the real need, what is the real need for the schools after so many years? And we have been thinking and discussing, as you know, about this. And their needs is exactly, I think, a hope. A hope not to be alone. That's what I can say after all these years.
That's right. So it's like trying to be accompanied by people with maybe different visions, but very close goals before jumping into the stage. This is what means the title of this experience, yes. Prima del Teatro?
In a way, yes, because at the beginning the schools came to Prima del Teatro to teach, only to teach. Then what they realized during the years, that they could teach and at the same time learn.
Teachers could learn.
Yes. And there's a line in Shakespeare about Harry V, and he's described as a man who has this double spirit of teaching and learning instantly. Teaching and learning at the same time. So, during the years, the schools realized what they were missing. How do you realize that? When you see that something else is happening and you don't have that. Now, Prima del Teatro was the place where this missing was visible. So every school was looking for something different. And all the students went back to their national schools also with self-esteem, because they realized by the confrontation with the other schools how good their national schools were. So they go back and say, yes, it was a fantastic time, but the thing I have is beautiful.
So after these school exchanges and multiple visions dialoguing among them, Prima del Teatro gave birth to a European schools of theatre network.
Yes.
École des écoles.
Because Roberto Scarpa, as I told before, is a very inspired man. And so his thought was, his Don Quixote thought was, why not? Why not trying to set up a real European school? But his idea was not to have a school like the schools we have, but a school with a small permanent basis, place, location, like Prima del Teatro, and then his idea was to be traveling. I don't know if the word nomadistic exists in English, you know? So how do we go there? Maybe we will never reach there. Maybe we will never go there. But how can we go there? The first thing is that what is it that we want to build? It's an école des écoles. because the école already, les écoles already exist. And so we started with trying to build up a European partnership called the EEIG. Then from the EEIG in 2006, if I'm not wrong, we found the École des Écoles, which of course is functioning and it's in full strive. And I don't know, because Teatro di Pisa is not partner of École des Écoles, because we are not a drama school. So I don't know if it's this original idea of building up a school, a European school, is still there. But École des Écoles now has given birth to all a series of projects and collaborations which are very, very, very exciting.
And normal or very, very often you are an important part of it. So both this concrete summer experience of Prima del Teatro and the other activities coming from École des Écoles all along the year in different schools of Europe, from Lisbon to Vilnius, from Milan to Brussels, and crossing the continent, Switzerland, France, Spain, and so on. There is a kind of this international dimension.
Yeah.
Do you believe that there is a kind of added value in terms of society, politics, or either economics?
I think, Anna, it's the only value.
It's the only value.
Yeah, the international dimension is the only value. We could reason in terms of added value. There was today the most important economical Italian newspaper, Il Sole 24 Ore, has published a very important report. Basically, they say, if you invest €1 in cultural events, you get €2.50 back. So it's economically, we know for sure that it's a value. We shouldn't even have to discuss it anymore. The international dimension is the only value, because well, it very much depends on how we devise and envisage the future. It's a future of borders. Do we think that our students, our future artists, will have more hope within borders, or not? Our answer is that definitely not. That in terms of skills, of transmission of skills, of competence, of planning projects, it is quite clear that if our young people stay confined in our borders, their hope of the future is less diminished.
That's right. So, focusing this aim within the École des Écoles, with Fondazione Teatro di Pisa as a partner, we have been running a European project financed by the EU called Entrepreneurial Challenges in Theatre Practice Higher Education Curricula. So as a partner of this project, hosting at this very moment 6 schools, together with the other activities of Prima del Teatro here in San Miniato, what is your perception of it?
Well, of course, when you use the term entrepreneurship matched with art, somehow it can be scary. But William Shakespeare was a great entrepreneur, maybe the greatest entrepreneur. Yes, I think it's a very, very, very important historical moment.
This one?
Yeah. It's my impression. And there's a crisis not only in terms of welfare, but also in terms of what the public institutions can give as answers to people's needs. And not only in Italy, it's widespread.
As an artistic response.
Well, not only, but
Economics.
also artistic responses, but I mean also in other fields, like research or... So, I was watching, by chance, I was watching a movie a couple of evenings ago from a movie by an Italian director. And there is this story of these 3 workers that used to work in factories. And these workers are fired because of the crisis. So they get depressed, and then they decide to mortgage their flats, to put together all their savings, and they open up a coffee bar. And the film finishes with them swimming in the ocean. Well, in the Mediterranean. Now, is that the answer? I mean, the answer to an institutional crisis is that do it by yourself?
With your own...
Is that entrepreneurship there? The only answer we have left. So we go to our students and say, that's the future. Open up your own. I think the beauty of this project is that it tries to give an answer to a crisis, because the crisis is there. I mean, the percentages of people getting jobs after they graduate from drama school is obscenely low all over Europe. And the answer that this project is trying to give is, yes, institutions have to change, maybe slightly, but we have to take over the responsibility to accompany our students, our young people, to a future without abandoning them, without saying, okay, that's our graduation day, that's our diploma, now open up your coffee bar. Maybe during the years of training we can help you. Now how? And the beauty of this project is that most of the European drama schools are there and trying to reason and think over projects, ideas. Is entrepreneurship becoming a subject in the drama school, or is entrepreneurship becoming an MA? But we need to do something for them without abandoning them to a coffee bar.
Okay. Luca, we hope to meet you again in Prima del Teatro,
Yeah, of course.
wherever in theater field in Europe. Thank you very much for running through the years this amazing experience, and thank you very much for this time.